Kapow!
I was expecting more. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought I was getting another one.
No, you only get the one. Only get the one.
Nearly caught me off guard completely. Good evening, Julian.
Good evening, Martin.
Good evening, world.
Good evening. Well, yes, as you can see, I'm not from the studio tonight. I'm from my dining room.
We've got what they call an ad hoc studio.
Yes, so we're busy with a big shoot in the main studio. So, yeah, we're currently shooting from here. Hi, Mark. Mother's on.
This is my dining room. Is also my studio.
There you go. There you go.
Someone just stole.
Somebody sneaked past me. Somebody stole a computer.
They were stealing something.
Stop
that person.
Let's not talk about stealing. We got robbed at a gig on Saturday.
Oh, no.
Stole 2 of our cameras, 2 of our screens, lenses. Right behind us, literally, my crew was standing, and right behind them was this young lady proceeding to just take everything. We got it all on camera.
Oh my God.
But she was gone by the time, obviously, she had taken the stuff. She was out of there. So. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate.
Such a brass neck. I was thinking this the other day. At what point because I can't understand this in my own life. I appreciate it can happen for all sorts of reasons, but I can't understand the point in your life when you go, I'm going to steal stuff. I don't know where the crossover point, whereas you go from, no, you're not supposed to do that, to, I'm just going to do it. I don't know where.
I think, unfortunately, I think poverty breeds a lot into it.
Of course there's reasons. Of course I understand there's reasons. It's just very hard to kind of get my head around it sometimes to think.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go out and rob some stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So we lost 2 cameras, 2 screens, lenses. Quite a bit of stuff to the value like 45,000 rand.
Rubbish.
So unfortunately, but at least I am insured. So I will be obviously talking to my insurance company to get this sorted out. Had to go to the police station. It was, what a nightmare of a day.
Well, that's sort of this is a stupid thing to say as well, but that's kind of the worst part of it as well, is all the admin.
Yeah, pretty much. That is always the worst,
And then having to deal with the paperwork and the conversations and all that bit. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I know you said hello to your mum, and I kind of talked over you. Hi, Sandy. Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude.
It's okay. And happy Mother's Day for yesterday to all the moms out
Mother's
there.
Day, yes.
Yes. Is Mother's Day by you? No, except for you?
Yeah, everywhere in the world, apart from the UK.
Except
for some reason, we do it in March.
Why do you guys do it in March?
I don't know. Why do we do anything? It's like, let's not do it at the same time as everyone else. I don't know.
That's true. You drive on a different side of the road to us.
Drive on a different side of the road. We put the clocks forward, back, whatever it is that we do. And
as I told you earlier, I got some great vinyls this week.
Yeah, fantastic.
The Verve.
You said you've been waiting on that
for like nearly a year. Yeah. The new Robert Plant and Ellis and Krauss.
Nice.
Spoon.
That's proper Grammy. See, a Spoon I know nothing about. I don't even know what sort of music they play.
You'll love it. Go listen to the track, The Hardest Cut. Television,
one?
Marquee Moon. The track you must listen to on Spoon is Hardest Cut.
Hardest Cut, okay.
Yeah.
Marquee Moon, is that shot from both sides, television? Is that theirs?
What do you mean? No, it's the other album, which I also have. But I've been waiting for this one, so I've got both their albums.
Okay, that's
big fan of them.
That's their very well-known one, though, isn't it?
This has got the single Marquee Moon on it. Yeah, and then obviously, big news in the music world today was Kendrick Lamar dropped his brand new single.
I saw that. It's not an artist I particularly bothered about, but I saw the news. I saw that I saw people saying it's a big artistic statement.
Yeah, you got to watch the video to understand it.
Okay.
It's pretty, it's hectic. Good evening, Anthony, all the way from, you're in Kalk Bay today. Not Mallorca, isn't it? He's normally in Mallorca. Yeah, Kalk Bay, Cape Town. Good to see you, Anthony.
Nice. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we got 2 great guests with us today as well. I'm looking very forward to both of them. Our very first guest from South Africa played in a band I was massively a fan of. I think it was in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, called Tree 63. What a band. I was like, oh man, I should actually go and find those again. I'm sure I've got a CD. I'm sure I do. I've got a CD somewhere with 363 on. Somewhere. I'm gonna have to put it out. I should have done that tonight, because then I could have gone, see what I still got. But yeah, and then also young lady from the UK who we've spoken about and we've had on before
last summer. Yeah. Last summer.
Who is actually, and I still can't get over that, has done backing vocals for Radiohead.
Backing vocals, and I think some what would she have been playing? Probably some instrument as well. Probably.
Yeah, Daisy Chute, who I'm looking very forward to as well. She played live for us last year, I remember.
She's all over our DiscovrTV UK page. I realised she cover photograph us from when she did the DiscovrTV live show for us, video show. In fact, she may well have played the track that's coming out this week. In fact, on that live show.
Brilliant.
From many, I mean, it feels like hardly any time. I mean, it can't be. It feels like it can't be 3 years ago, but it must be because that's when we were doing those. Doing those shots.
Yeah.
Hearing you say tree 63 just made me think of if you're doing that with an Irish accent, it sounds like the number 363. Tree 63. I say that because we're talking football earlier on. I got very confused by a commentator. It was an Irish commentator. He was doing one of the football commentaries not that long ago, and he was saying they've got a back line that's playing like a tree. And I was like, what did he mean they're playing like a tree? How do you play it back line like a tree? And then realised he was saying 3 at the back.
Well, I was just remembering now.
They're playing a tree formation. It's like, what the hell?
363 was nearly 15 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll chat to John about that. They had a massive track with a song called A Million Lights, which was absolutely brilliant. And let's get our first guest on while we are talking about that. Should we do this?
Aye, let's do it.
Here we go. John Ellis. Good evening, young man.
I'm off the side.
You're off the side.
There we go. Okay, got it.
There we go.
I'm sorted. Don't worry. I'm sorted.
Good evening, John.
I'm in the middle of some serious hairstyles here. I'm glad to see.
Where's the hairstyles? There's no hairstyles here. But what we have got is we've got a threesome of goatees.
I was going to say this looks like a reunion of an adopted family.
It looks like a band already.
We've got a band in this.
Separated at birth.
Good evening, John. How are you?
It's great to be with you both. You need to maybe explain the system to me because it seems like one of you is in the UK and one of you is in South Africa. Is that right?
Yes, I'm in South Africa. Martin's in the UK.
There you go. Straight away. That's all.
John, I met you years ago. So when you were still 363.
It must be a million years since we saw each other last.
It is. It is a long, long time ago. And didn't I have you on Balcony TV? I can't remember. Did we?
I must be honest. I've done a few of these over the years, and I've lost track of it.
The rooftop where we played in Randlords? No, maybe. I can't remember right
maybe.
Anyway. Yeah, don't worry, I feel the same. That's what happens with age. I just start forgetting everything. It just depresses me.
So you're quite right, John. We are live from Two Nations. We started doing this in the beginning of lockdown 2020 because Julian and I had connected through doing DiscovrTV shoots, and because we were all shut down and couldn't do the live stuff that we'd be doing, we thought, what should we do instead? So this is what we
started this,
doing. And we're still doing it two
years later.
Great.
In fact, so it must almost be an anniversary show, actually.
When's that? No, isn't it April? No, it must be now.
Must be about now, yeah. Let's call it
2 years.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
Well, just got to say, happy anniversary, Martin. Cheers.
There we go. Welcome to the anniversary.
So we showcase the best, brightest talent from the UK and South Africa, music videos, and we chat to the artists, and that's what New Music Mondays is all about.
I'm very honored to be part of this discussion, guys. So thank you.
No, thank you. It's great to have you on. So let's step back in time for a moment because obviously I was a massive fan of 363, and I think who were you signed to? Was it BMG? No, or EMI?
We had a deal with them. It's the longest story in the world, but the thumbnail sketch is a label that was an imprint of EMI in the States.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think back then, if we're going back, it's 15 years ago. A Million Lights was the first single. I think that was the big single back then.
Actually, longer. That came out in 1999, 2000. So
wow.
20 plus years.
Is it that long? Wow. Okay. Now I'm really getting old.
Yeah.
So, John, I mean, let's say it's over 20 years ago.
Mhm.
Where you been?
Wow.
We've got to ask the question.
Well, in 2001, I said to myself, wow. So the first 10 years of this century were spent slugging around America and at some great times in the UK too, by the way. Um, but I found that as the years went by, it's not the easiest place to try and conduct some kind of artistic endeavor, plus raise kids, plus have a marriage and mental health issues in terms of trying to stay vaguely sane in the middle of all this touring and relocating. Coming from South Africa and trying to engage with the planet. It's
Yep.
not the easiest in the world.
No.
We have the worst passport possibly in the world. I think one of the worst. And there was just an increasing level of stress. And yeah, some people are built for the stress, and some aren't. And I needed some time away from it. So I relocated back to South Africa, having been living in Nashville for many years.
Wow.
And then spent the last 15 years back in my hometown, which is Durban, on the east coast of South Africa. And so I'm talking to you right now from Cape Town. I've just literally moved to Cape Town in the last 4 days, and I'm surrounded by
wow.
Wow.
That's a move and a half.
Yeah, it's been a long week. In the middle of which I'm also dealing with this, which is this brand new album I have.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's quite a lot of stuff I'm juggling at the moment, including a finger cut on my guitar playing hand, which is not the timing in the world. So if I do lose track of this interview halfway through, just forgive me.
This is the perfect time to learn how to play bottleneck guitar, I guess.
Well, probably we should say that.
So John, tell us a little bit about the new album.
Yeah, so I've been doing the solo thing for the last 10 years or so, and at one point, 2015 or so, I just completely checked out of music. I sold a lot of gear, broke the studio down, packed the guitars away, and focused on trying to raise kids, which I personally think is slightly more important than playing guitar.
Absolutely.
You have kids.
Yeah.
And then in the last 3 years or so, in fact, just before COVID rearranged the realities of life, a friend had sort of almost suggested and challenged me to make one more record, and I was not too excited about the idea of it. I was enjoying not having the pressure of writing songs and trying to follow trends. I personally feel, as a songwriter and a musician, we are so ruled by algorithms these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's almost a case of drawing a parallel between algorithms and human rhythms. There's this disconnect between how the industry. I mean, you were holding up some vinyl just now. Some of the greatest music made in a time just before algorithms really took over how we judge and appreciate.
Oh yeah.
And
there were albums. We still listened to albums back then. I mean, I was talking about. I've been waiting so long for that Verve album, and I mean that's just a prime example of a proper album. Every single song on this album was absolutely brilliant, and but you had to listen to it its entirety to appreciate it.
It was a work of art in its entirety, designed to be a work as a piece, whole together as the way Radiohead. We mentioned Radiohead earlier, also.
Yeah.
By the way, shot by both sides was magazine, not television.
You're quite right. I was kind of in my head.
Yes.
I'm not sure I'm right about this. You're quite right. Thanks for correcting me. Because I the whole time I was like, I think I've got something wrong here.
But yeah, so there was a bunch of reasons for not making music anymore. But when my friend suggested two things, he said, make another record, but make an album of blues music. And I said, well, the last thing the world needs anymore is another album of white people playing blues. Kind of challenged me a bit more. And I'm a Bob Dylan fan, and I love how Dylan used the blues motif and poured his poetry into the blues form. So he'd take a blues format and just have umpteen verses of incredible stream of consciousness writing. So I thought I'd try a similar thing. Then when I was investigating, I realized Well, blues actually, technically, is an African invention. You know, the slave trade exported West African rhythms and polyrhythms and all these things to the shores of what they call, I guess, the New World in those days.
Yeah.
And it's come back to us 200 years later as a form of, I mean, Kendrick Lamar too. There's intrinsically African about hip hop, about blues, and because blues underpins so much of what rock and roll has become in pop music. It's sort of like almost like a primary text, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought, what about South African blues songs by a white guy?
Yeah.
And here it is.
Fantastic.
A
South
white
African
South
blues songs by a white guy.
Claiming-
White South African blues.
Well, I don't know, because the question, the provocative question is, can I call myself an African? Do I have the right to call myself a native South African? And there's a bit of a button push there, and
Sure.
I'm hoping to maybe encourage a couple of conversations about what it means to be South African, what it means to be a white South African. There's a lot of stuff to unpack here, which we tend to shy away from because we get so worried about these conversations.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose for me, a track to unpack is State of the Nation. Tell us a bit about that, because we're going to play that video now as soon anyway. So before we get into that video, tell us a bit about it, because we've got two videos of yours that have come out pretty much simultaneously. So we're going to play them both tonight. So tell us a little bit about State of the Nation.
Well, the first line of State of the Nation is face down in a sunflower field. I don't know if you remember, a few years ago, there was this terrible story of a young kid who was chased down and basically murdered in a part of the Free State where he'd been stealing sunflowers out of a sunflower field, and he was murdered by these two racist guys. And there's something quite horribly poetic about, you know, the beauty of the sunflower field and the horror of this murder. And I'm although South Africa is a difficult place, I'm still a firm believer in some kind of future here. But you can't. But you can't shy away from the realities of this is Africa too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, State of the Nation, we halfway between this and halfway between this other horrible thing, and we are, no matter how many politicians tell us otherwise, South Africa is a challenging place to live in. And I thought with the video, once I'd finished the song, I thought, let me go. I found those wax models purely by chance in a wax museum in Durban. And I thought, this is an opportunity that cannot be missed. So every time the microphone goes to one of those famous politicians in the video, they've got nothing to say because they.
Welcome to Africa.
Which is,
on that note,
On that note,
carry on. Sorry.
I was going to say that. I mean, that's generally a State of the Nation thing around the world. I mean,
look at Ukraine. Look at Putin.
Well,
it's just like. Need we say more?
The world is an interesting place right now, and to be making music in the middle of all this chaos is an interesting endeavor. But music needs to be made, right?
Absolutely. And voices need to be heard. Absolutely. So let's check it out. This is John Ellis with State of the Nation here on New Music Mondays. Here you go.
Face down in a sunflower field. State of the nation. Burning books in a burnt out school. State of the nation. Totem poles, slanted eyes, crocodile teeth, suits and ties. State of the nation. State of the nation. My turn to eat, and I want more. Didn't join the struggle to be poor. State of the nation. State of the nation. They're born free nights, work free days. State of the nation. NDRRET-RDPEWC, state of the nation. If it's a rainbow, then there has to be a pot of gold and a PhD, state of the nation. State of the nation. Warlords on the building side, state of the nation. To fill the taxis, burn the trades, state of the nation. Yeah, state of the nation. Penthouse suite of a sinking ship, state of the nation. Minority rule, state of the nation. State of the nation.
State of the Nation, John Ellis. Love it.
I love the way that's shot as well. It's brilliant. I mean, it's such a great idea to think I'm going to use this, but then the actual filming of it as well is just good acting job there, John, as well. I like that.
Very kind. Well, yeah, I studied for years. My method is very, whatever.
You get yourself in the zone. I'm out of here. Look at, I mean, you're a camera guy as well. Both camera guys, because there was one with a camera and one who was shooting with the camera. But great acting job there as well. It's like, at the end, particularly, is like.
I've got to tell you. Can I give you a little story there? One of the most important things, one of the most important things was trying to stay away from too much controversy, because the fact of the matter is, I'm a white guy interviewing essentially African politicians.
Yeah.
And I anticipated a lot of backlash, and I did get a few people saying to me, well, it's a bit condescending, or it's a bit patronizing, all these words. And that's why I made sure that I spoke with the wax model guy, who is a very well-known Zulu guy in Durban who maxes his carefully. And the cameraman in that video actually is a musician himself, who happens to play quite a lot of music, traditional Zulu instruments on this album.
Wow.
So I made sure that I wasn't stepping on toes.
Yeah.
But you step on toes anyway. That's the point of protest music, or
exactly
songs that try and say something other than "Come on, baby."
It's a tough
or
balance,
twerk,
isn't it?
twerk.
Because sometimes the option you end up with, if you try not to step on any toes, sometimes the option you end up with is say nothing, and that doesn't really work either. So.
Well, and you were talking earlier about 363. I'm one of those idiots that has always tried to use music to say something rather than just entertain people, and I've paid dearly for it, because people want to be entertained, and it's not easy having a career in music when
there's room for both, though, John. I mean, you mentioned the prime mover in this. You said Bob Dylan at the start of this conversation. I mean, there's a guy who's,
it was all about
protest singer, yeah. Absolutely. In fact, the biggest annoyance he got with his audience was when he stopped.
Yeah, true. Exactly, with Newport and all that stuff. No, I agree. I've just always felt like music has the power to say something to what it means to be human, and it's great. I mean, I love being entertained by music too. I'm a bigger fan of all the music you mentioned earlier, as you can imagine. But I also love music that challenges me a little bit, and I'd like to maybe possibly make that kind of music as opposed to just consume it.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's chat a bit about the other track, because I did want to play a bit of both videos. Be When Done.
Yes.
Quite a title, because it's a bit of a tongue twister. Chat a bit about that track as well before we play a bit about that.
Okay, this is slightly more, but this is less demanding. this is just a track talk. Maybe it's a bit of a personal diary entry about what it means to be alive. Each verse follows a fairly typical blues. When I say blues pattern, I mean Delta blues, original country folk blues, way before the blues community migrated north to Chicago in the 20s and 30s. Oh, sorry, the 40s and 50s. This is Delta blues, acoustic guitar, Charlie Patton stuff that I was drawing from. And so some of those blues lyrics will be quite personal.
Okay.
This particular song, it just talks about the state of things. So the first verse is, talks about a humpback whale. Where I come from in Durban, once a year, a humpback whale washes up on the beach.
Yes.
And I love the analogy between this whale arriving and me inside the whale and Jonah and all those great stories. So there's some imagery there which I haven't even unpacked yet. If you can figure out for me, let me know.
Okay. Well, look, we're going to play a little bit of the track. Unfortunately, we don't have too much time because Daisy's also on a dinner break on the songwriting retreat she's on. So we've got to kind of like push things on a bit. But yeah, let's play a little bit because I really wanted to play some of this track as well because I really enjoyed it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is John Ellis with Be When Done.
Humpback floating on low tide beneath a dark lighthouse on a rainy night. I guess all journeys end on a foreign shore. I'm on my own now, wonder who I'll be when I'm done. Highway collapsed on Christmas Day. By the time they noticed I was miles away, I'm not suggesting I'm fully responsible, but these things happening, wonder where I'll be when I'm done. Devils in blackface and gods in white, everything's mysterious if you look at it right. Jesus is an acrobat, talks like this, acts that. Right now I'm a dancer, wonder who I'll be when I'm done.
That's just a little bit of a taste for you of Be When Done by John Ellis. Oh, what a track. I just love it because it's got this amazing fusion of Afro Delta blues, which is exactly like you said it. But yeah, guys, please go and check out John Ellis and get this album. Get it on all streaming platforms because it is phenomenal.
Fantastic.
There you go. There's there.
Name of the album again, John?
It's called Native.
Fantastic.
And I made exactly 50 copies of CDs because no one owns these anymore. So,
There you go. Where can they get that?
this exact copy, well,
Where can they get the CD?
Well, one of the 50 anyway.
One of the 50.
I mean, that one if you like.
well, it's going quick. There's 49 left.
Where can they order it? Where can they order it?
No, it's all online these days, guys. I'm afraid there's hardly any of these guys left.
Oh, wow, okay.
They're gone. They're gone. So you'll have to make another 50 so people can order them. But yeah, what a great track and what a great album. You guys have had a taste of two of the tracks off the album tonight. Absolutely brilliant. John, great to have you back on the music scene. The music scene's missed you.
Whoever
Definitely
that
has.
friend was who dared you to make a new album, I think, pat on the back to that.
Yeah,
We'll give them a shout.
as well, 'cause,
Come on, don't you have the claps there for us?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, look at that. Guys, I really appreciate you both having me on the show. It's first time for me, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Well,
No,
back
thank you, John.
anytime. As we
And
said to everyone,
where can people
not
get-
a one-time only deal. You can come back.
Where can people get more info?
The usual places: Facebook and Instagram. John Ellis Koza, John Ellis songs, and then obviously you can download all this stuff all over the place. So good luck.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Thanks for joining us. We'll chat soon.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Bye.
My hand's there. There it is.
Wow. What a great track. Really loved that. I wanted to play the whole thing, but I know Daisy's in a hurry, so we're gonna go straight into it because we don't have time. I know Daisy's on a quick break, so let's do this. Here we go.
Hey,
Daisy. Good
How are you?
evening.
we don't want to
Good to
ruin.
you.
We don't want to ruin your dinner. You've either not had it yet, or whichever.
Not had it yet.
Not had it yet.
Not had it yet.
Soon.
So we don't want to eat into dinner time. That would be too bad. Great to see you. Thank you very much for joining us again on New Music Mondays. Daisy Chute back on the show. I'll give you one of those straight away.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
We were just chatting before you arrived. It's been almost a year. 26th of July last year
Wow.
when you last joined us on the show. If you can believe that much time has passed already.
That's insane. Yeah, I think at that point I hadn't even. Yeah, I really since then I've released 2 EPs, so I don't know what I'd released at that point. I was talking about that. Must have been one of the singles. Yeah, it might have been Music Is There.
I
Or
was going to say you've
one of
been
the singles
extremely
I've
busy.
Yeah, I've had quite a year. It's been good.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about it. Tell us about the 2 EPs firstly. Let's get that out the way quickly, and then we'll come back to the new single.
Sure. Yeah. No. Well, the first EP I released last year was in November. It was Songs of Solace EP, which was taking the kind of journey from the beginning through to the end of a relationship through 6 songs, and that's And I had crowdfunded that, and that went really well. And I had music videos to go with it too, and a launch at the Water Rats in London, which went really well too. And
fantastic venue.
Yeah, it's very great. It's a great place. And then very great, good English. And then I went to, and then I actually quite shortly after in January I released another EP called Cradle Songs, which was a shorter EP. So it was like 3 songs plus an instrumental featuring new settings of Scottish poems where I'm from, as you know. So 3 different poems I found in some research that were by sort of lesser known female Scottish poets, and decided to release it as sort of around Burns Night as a kind of like alternative to your Robert Burns stuff, which I'm a fan of. But I just thought it was kind of nice to have.
Well, a nice twist on it, because that's kind of celebrating Scottish poetry. Julian's left us, but I'm sure he'll come back shortly.
I think he's insulted by what I've said. And
I doubt it. I doubt it very much. He's probably just pressed the wrong button. That's normally what happens. But yeah, it was absolutely. I mean, both the Songs of Solace was great, but I really loved the Cradle Songs EP. It was fantastic, and I don't know whether it was kind of speaking to my roots somehow. I don't know, but there was definitely something in it that just kind of caught me emotionally. I think it was wonderful. Wow. How did that come about? Because was that a sort of collaborative thing? Were they, because they're modern writers as well, aren't they? It wasn't sort of old.
Some of it was old, some of it. So somebody from the 20th century, Marion Angus, was the most recent one. But it came about because actually, so the person I wrote the music with, Michael Chani Wills. Hi.
My computer crashed. Sorry, my Chrome just went by.
All right, Daisy thought somehow you'd been insulted by something.
Yeah, like we were talking about Scotland. You're like, that's it. I've had enough.
I'm out of here.
It came about. Michael Chani Wills and I started writing together because we were commissioned to do a song for an advert for Jaguar, as you do, and because of that we started working together, and then we just sort of really liked writing together, and decided to try out some other material that was just for us, just for the pure love of it. And that's when this came about, because I wanted to set poems. Because I used to do that when I started writing, and I hadn't set poems for a little while, so I wanted to get back to my roots in that way, and also the roots of Scotland too. So that's how it all came about. And he's got an orchestral background as well, so he added some beautiful arranging to it. As you can tell, there's a bit of string orchestra. Yeah, gorgeous arrangements on that, as you said. It's a beautiful project. So both things, Songs of Solace and Cradle Songs EP. Go check it out, people, because it's gorgeous. Daisy,
Martin, you might have to play it from that side, Martin. My Chrome has just gone ballistic.
Okay. I'll get onto that, and I'll get onto that in a second. You're asking me to multitask. So I'll do that, and I'll get that.
Oh wait, okay, it's yeah. I've got it. I've got it.
I was going to say I was going to pitch you in because I know you need to go to dinner. I know that, so we'd better get and crack on and tell us about Lion Eyes. Well, this is a song that I am familiar with because I actually did a recording of this with you for DiscovrTV.
That's right. Yeah.
A little while ago, in a bar in Camden. So brilliant. I'm sort of excited about this coming out as a proper version. So tell us about the new single, Daisy.
Sure. So yeah, as you say, this is a song I've performed a bunch before. It's an older song actually, but it's part of the new album, which has kind of been a long time coming. So I'd released these other EPs in the meantime, but which are more recently written. But the album has been sort of kind of getting made as and when with the producer I'm working with, who's also co-writing a lot of it too. So it's sort of basically because of availability and health and everything else. So we've kind of been set back a little bit by various things, but we've now finally got a kind of a window of opportunity to finish it. And so this is the first single from the album. The song is I don't know, it's a mix of different influences. It's inspired by an Oscar Wilde story, actually, to begin with, a little short story I read and brought to our session, and but also very much influenced by my own experiences as well. So kind of that story blends with my own personal stories and the kind of the end of the relationship that a lot of the album actually kind of tackles in different ways. So yeah. So I don't know what else to say other than that.
Let's take a listen.
That's perfect. That said everything that needs to be said. It's fantastic.
Yep. Here it is.
Can you stay with us till after to the song? Or do you need to go?
I will. Okay. I should probably go quite soon, but I'll try
just in case we needed to say cheerio now. That's why I'll check. We'll come back and speak to you quickly after the song.
Okay, cool.
Here we go. Lion Eyes, Daisy Chute. Enjoy.
Honeyed hair, body white, you turn my water into wine, and on the water walk the line. You love the lonely, heal the weak, a voice for those who cannot speak, and eyes for those who cannot see. But you are blind. You wanna say, Do what you gotta do now. Take what you're taking away. I will rise up. You can say what you wanna say. Do what you gotta do now. Take what you're taking away. Rise up.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
Something pretty awesome about everything in there. There's so many things to say that's awesome about. And
yeah, no.
Fantastic.
No, absolutely stunning.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful. We have no words. Wow.
Love it.
Thank you so much.
I think I can see people saying at the moment, where can they find that video? It's not sort of public domain at the moment, is it? It's on. Where's the?
That's right.
Where is the premiere at the moment?
So the premiere is on XS Noise, and that's where you played it from, of course. And I'm going to make it public on all the different channels this week. I'm away this week in this writing retreat, so I'm just trying to figure out the right time to do it so I can be in the comments and stuff. It's a bit hectic.
Of course.
But hopefully it will be maybe early this week, so at least by Wednesday.
Is the track actually out now, or is the track?
Yeah, the track is out.
The track
so you
is
can
out.
hear
So you find that in all the
everything.
normal streaming places if you want to listen to the song.
And I should just mention Bartek Podkoła is the director of the video. We filmed it in Poland and Iceland, and did an amazing job of it. So.
Beautiful. Stunning video, stunning song, stunning everything.
And currently on a songwriting retreat with, we were talking about records earlier on. You were with one of the writers of probably one of the first singles I ever bought.
No way.
This
really?
Week. So yeah, Labeled with Love, I think was one of the first singles I ever bought. So
there you go. Yeah. Sorry that you can't see any famous people behind me, but they're all in it.
I can see one very famous person right in the middle of my
screen.
Right there. Right there.
I literally thought you meant. Very good.
We better let you go because you need to go and have some food.
Go and have your dinner.
Yeah, no, I feel bad. But thank you so much for having me on and for helping spread the word about the song and the video. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Keep them
coming.
Thank
you very much, Daisy.
Brilliant stuff.
Thank you very much for having me.
Chat soon.
Take care, Daisy. Bye.
Bye. Wow, stunning
stuff. I'm glad you said that was in Poland and Iceland. How about that, right? I'm going to shoot a video. What are you going to do? Let's go to Poland and Iceland.
Iceland.
All right.
Nothing wrong.
That's a beautiful thing. Lots of nice comments about that as well.
Yeah. Beautiful track. Great. Both all the tracks tonight. Both 3 tracks tonight have been stunning.
Both 3
Love
tracks?
It.
I know what you mean.
Both 3, yeah, you know what I mean. Tired, man. It's been a long weekend, a long week already, and it's only Monday.
Nice? I think in general, you kind of say there's something about, let's say, world music within that as well. I know kind of, what John was saying about the background to his music and the influences in there. I think you can hear within what Daisy's doing as well. There are Celtic influences, there are folk music,
a little bit of Enya,
there's pop music influences. All sort of coming in as sort of work, which is lovely to hear these sort of things being blended together. Cultural. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about cultural appropriation. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about cultural collaboration.
Absolutely.
Where you've got those people, like you can see from John's video. You can see it's not just kind of I'm going to take some of this music. He's got the people playing it. It's there. They're playing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic stuff. Great stuff. And as he quite rightly said, it's a way of bringing the world together.
Yeah, I love it. And on that note, we have come to the end of our show.
Splendid stuff.
Yes, it's been great, short, sweet, and to the point, as we like to say.
Well, we have to let our writers get fed. Our writers and artists get fed. And you probably haven't had your dinner yet either, have you?
I have. I had my dinner before the show, yeah. But maybe we should play out with the John Ellis track that we didn't play the full track
of.
We
had to cut it short, didn't we? So yeah, we could do that.
Let me just find it quickly again.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, seeing we didn't get to finish it, be when done. There we go. I've got it there. Cool. Let me get myself ready here.
Well, thank you to everyone, as always, for joining us on New Music Mondays this week. Hope you've enjoyed the show. And music, if you like the artists that you see, you can always go and check them out. The details are somewhere on our details.
on our details, somewhere on our screen, somewhere.
Who we've had on. You can join us every Monday for a new show with new artists and new songs every week, celebrating the best of music from across the world.
And let's play out with the song we gave you a taste of earlier, because I thought, why not? It's a great track, and I think we should all listen to it anyway. John Ellis with Be. I'm getting tongue-tied on it again. Be When Done. There we have it. We'll see you next week, guys. We're out here. Bye.
Humpback floating on low tide beneath a dark lighthouse on a rainy night. I guess all journeys end on a foreign shore. I'm on my own now. Wonder who I'll be when I'm done. Highway collapsed on Christmas Day. By the time they noticed I was miles away. I'm not suggesting I'm fully responsible, but these things happening. Wonder where I'll be when I'm done. Devils in blackface and gods in white. Everything's mysterious if you look at it right. Jesus is an acrobat, talks like this, acts that. Right now I'm a dancer. Wonder who I'll be when I'm done. Inside that humpback they found my painting. There were signs of struggle, some kind of battle had been raging. And I caught my reflection, my whale's dead eye. There were